In this video, I'm gonna give you 3 mistakes that you need to stop making with your YouTube channel. What's up guys, my name's Cody. I run multiple YouTube channels across the country for myself and for other agents, and I see mistake after mistake from what other real estate agents are doing, and this is something that's really concerning to me. So I'm going to make this video, tell you 3 things you need to stop doing so you can find more success with your YouTube channel. With that said, let's jump into it. So number 1 on our list here is quit using bad thumbnails. I see a lot of real estate YouTubers out there who are creating videos and their content is actually pretty good, but then they create this horrible thumbnail. With thumbnails, you have to be really deliberate about what you're putting on that thumbnail. Now with thumbnails, there's a couple of rules that I generally try to abide by, and this is something I'd recommend for you. If you're using a picture of your face, which I would recommend for at least 90% of your videos so people know that it's your video, make sure that your face fills up the whole entire frame. You wanna make sure that it goes top to bottom and takes up, in my opinion, at least 1/3 of the thumbnail. This makes it front and center. As they're scrolling through YouTube, they might just find your YouTube video based on seeing your face and they might automatically click on it. So that's something that I think is really, really important. It's a little bit cheesy, a little bit cliche to, put these funny faces on your thumbnail, but it really does get clicks and it really does help. So don't make your image really small. Don't put it in the corner or anything like that. I think that just looks really, really bad. Next up, I also want to talk about using the background. So I see a lot of real estate agents who will just put a blank background for their thumbnail. They'll just put like a blue background or a black background, or it'll just be like the color, right? That's not really effective. That doesn't really make it all that engaging. What a better option would be is to use a skyline of your city. Take a skyline picture. You can find one on Google. Just type in your city and you'll be able to find one. You can steal it and put it on your thumbnails. Use that for every single thumbnail if you have to, but that's going to be a much better option than using a blue background or a pink background or a picture of something that doesn't really matter. And then lastly, I see a lot of real estate agents who are putting too many words in their thumbnail. There's a lot of realtors out there who will put full sentences. I've even seen one where it was like almost a full paragraph in their thumbnail. For the thumbnail itself, you want to ideally only use 5 words or less. I usually try to go for 1, 2, or maybe 3 words if at all possible, and it should be something that's different from your title. So if your video title is going to be living in Utah, which is where I'm at, in my thumbnail, I probably don't want to put living in Utah, right? Because that's redundant. You want to put something that evokes a little bit of emotion. So it might be like what you need to know or something like that for the thumbnail. So make it something that people are going to see and actually click on because it evokes that emotion, and then the title will show them what the video is actually going to be about. And that leads us right into the second mistake that I see a lot of real estate agents make, is that they have really poor titles. They're making titles about like, here's how the inspection process works, or hey, check out this home on 123 Main Street. You need to make your titles much more exciting and actually about the content that people are searching for. Until you're getting at least 300 or 400 views per video, you need to make sure that every single title you put out is going to be something that people are searching for. Even if you end up using the same terms such as like living in Utah or living in Salt Lake or what it's like to live here, if you end up using those same terms in every single title, at least to get started, I think that's something that's going to serve you really well. Once you start getting at least a couple hundred views per video, then you can start changing the titles a little bit and being a little bit less searchable, but maybe a little bit more, let's say clickbaity, right? So for example, instead of using a title like, hey, here's the top 5 downsides to living in Salt Lake City, you could actually use a title that says, don't move to Utah unless you know these things, right? Nobody's gonna search for that latter title, but it's going to evoke emotion, and as people follow you, as you get subscribers, they're going to click on that video regardless of the title being searchable. So again, once you're getting at least a couple hundred views on videos, then you can get a lot more flexible with the titles. But if you're just getting started, make sure to really get those titles dialed in and also get the thumbnails dialed in. This is going to be probably 90% of your success in the very beginning. If people see your video and they like the title, they like the thumbnail, and they think they're going to get the value that they're expecting inside of that video, there's a good chance they're going to click on it and then end up watching that full video, which is going to push your videos and your channel even further. And then lastly, the third point that I want to bring up here is not getting to the point of the video quickly enough. Now it's okay to use a little bit of a call to action in the beginning of your video. I do that in a lot of my videos. I'll say, hey, here's what we're going to talk about in this video. But before we do that, if you're thinking about moving here, reach out to me. And then I go straight into the video. So that whole entire process generally only takes about 10 to 15 seconds. You don't want to be rambling on talking about random stuff that nobody really cares about. When somebody clicks on that video, they want to have a little bit of an introduction so they know what they're going to get in that video, and then it gets right into the content. So just that that quick 10 to 15 second sales pitch is okay, but you should be into the meat of your video within the first 30 seconds. If you're dragging it out further than this, people are going to click off your video, and that's ultimately going to end up hurting your video and hurting your channel. So make sure to deliver value and get right to the point. So with that said, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you want to learn more about how to use YouTube at a really high level, make sure to check out the links in the description box below. There's a ton of information about real estate investing courses, about YouTube, about how I run my business, and there's going to be some other cool information in there as well. So make sure to check out those links. And with all that said, guys, we'll catch you in the next one.